All right, guys, we're on the MACFOX X1. And yes, I know in my video review it sounded like I said MaxFox, but it almost sounds the same when you say it. But we're on a fantastic budget $899 e-bike if you use my coupon code. It is very cheap. A lot of you guys in the comments said that this bike's not going to get that much good of range because it is only there's an accident there. There's only a 10.5 amp hour battery. So you guys were saying that I was probably going to be pedaling this bike when I come home. Now, the one thing I'm actually worried about, I'm not worried about pedaling at home because it doesn't have a very powerful motor. It's only 500 watts. But what I'm worried about is the tires going flat. That's my biggest worry. Now, they are on some CST tires. I like the tires that this company makes. They are ever so slightly, they feel thicker than any of these other like cheap Chinese tires that e-bikes have been putting on. You can literally feel almost like the tube through it with using your nail. These do feel ever so slightly thicker, but I didn't take any measurements, so I don't actually know. I'm just kind of going off the feel of the tire. But regardless, these aren't puncture proof. We can still definitely get an easy flat on this bike. So that's the thing I'm worried about on this trip. But we'll keep an eye on our battery percentage and we'll see how that is. And I'll let you guys know that we did start at exactly 8.0 miles. I don't know if this is going to be accurate. My work is roughly 6.8 miles away, so we're going to do almost 14 miles on this whole trip, and we're going to see where our battery bars are at. I'm expecting us to have 2 battery bars by the time we get back to the house. I don't know. We'll see, though. They claim in mode number 3 that you're supposed to be able to get like 37 miles of range or 38 miles of range, and if you get the dual batteries set up, you're going to double it because you're basically putting on another 10.5 amp hour battery and you're going to put it underneath the seat, and that will give you 21 amp hours in total. And it's an extra like $400 on the website. But I personally don't think you need an extra battery unless, you know, this is your main vehicle to get like across your city or town, you know, stuff like that. I get that. That would make more sense. But if you're just using it back and forth to work, maybe going to the park, going to the store, I think you're going to be perfectly fine with one battery, even though it is very small. That's a pretty bumpy section of the road, and not bad at all. Now, the one thing I do worry about this bike is traffic. So it's very hard to like weave in and out of traffic, but if this car is sitting and snoozing, then that's going to help me a little bit try to stay in traffic. Because I am going to go this way. I'm going to stay in the traffic because I don't want to be behind, but I'm going to try to get a jump start and stay on this Durango's ass because I don't want to hold up anyone behind me. Since we can only go 25 miles an hour and it's about 35, 40 on this road, go bike, go. I want to get into this turning lane. I wish I had turn signals right now so I can like signal when I'm going over. One thing you do need to get used to on this bike, depending if you have like arthritis or your hands hurt over time, which I'm kind of getting to that age where holding a full twist throttle, especially if it has like a lot of resistance, which this one doesn't have a lot of resistance, but it's not as light as some other ones. Like my Surron one is just, that one's super nice. This one feels a little rough, has a little bit of extra resistance to it. The Domino throttles have some resistance to them for sure. So my Onyx RCR hurts when I'm holding it. Over time, I could see if you're holding this for a very long period of time, if you're like an older person and your hands hurt by twisting something and holding it tight for a while, this might happen on this bike. So that's just a heads up, something I've noticed. All right, so we're normally always going with the wind coming this way, and I'm just very curious to see if the wind's gonna hold back our top speed. Right now I'm doing 23 miles an hour. I'm just curious. We've only put 2.5 miles coming on this trip so far, and it looks like it is because I'm only doing 22 miles an hour right now. So wind does play a factor huge on this bike. You're not always going to be hitting 25 miles an hour, unfortunately. So I'm also curious to see when we take it back home as our battery bars go down and we'll be closer to like 50% battery or less, what our top speed is going to be as well. Another thing we're going to do at night too is the headlight. We're gonna check out the headlight and see how it is. It does have a daytime running light, so right now as we're riding the bike, there is a light on the front that lights up so people can see us. You need a rear brake light. You can order one from the company. Now I do like that they have the plug in the back, so you can obviously just hook it up and you'll be good. It's a waterproof plug. And I don't know if once you do get that, if it's gonna work with the brake levers or not, because I'm not gonna personally order it myself. Maybe the company or someone that owns this bike can jump in and comment if they have the rear brake light. But I just went with a shred light that I use for my skateboards. I got the attachment that like wraps around a bar, like kind of like this, and I just have it in the rear, so it's gonna flash when we go home. So it's very bright, it's very safe. That's something I highly recommend if you don't want to pay that real expensive high price tag for the tail light in the back. Now let's do this test coming up this hill. Let's see how it does. We're already down to 20 miles an hour. Oh, go bike, go. Oh, 19 miles an hour. Come on, you can do it. I know it's gonna get up this hill, but it's not that powerful. It is definitely on the lower speed of e-bikes out there on the market. All right, so roughly like 18, 19 miles an hour. Now let's see if we can hit a higher top speed coming down here, or if it cuts our power, which I think this bike does. I think it cuts our power. Yep, I'm seeing 26 on the display, if you guys can see that. Oh, I can't move it. Never mind, it won't move. It's probably bolted on there pretty good, but I'm trying to get the shadow in there. So 25, no, it won't go any faster. I was hoping we could do like 28 miles an hour or something, you know, that'd be cool. Now, is this a bike that's going to impress your friends that are like trying to get into electric bikes for like transportation other than using their vehicle? No. But is the average person gonna like enjoy riding something like this? Like just to play around and have a good time, or just, you know, go around the neighborhood? Hell yes. So you gotta pick and choose what you're looking for. I can't wait until they're done with this, because I want to take my Sur on this road. It's gonna be brand new. Go squirrel, go! You can make it. Oh, that's great. There's always squirrels around here. That's why sometimes when I'm riding 50 miles an hour on this trail, if there's no people, I make sure there's no people first. It's very sketchy. I don't feel sketchy on this bike. If I hit something that runs out across me, like doing 20, 25 miles an hour, it shouldn't be that bad. But 50 miles an hour, that's a whole different story. I'm not gonna change anything on this bike though. A lot of you guys, I saw in the comments on the first video, you guys wanted me to put like the Rev 1 motor kit on here and everything like that. And honestly, I don't even think the dropouts are the same, because that's 175. I wanna say this is 150. Not 100% sure, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna like find anywhere to like bolt stuff up or zip tie or tape anything together. I'm not gonna make any custom brackets. There's really no room to put a lot of stuff in this bike. I mean, you could put the 52 volt battery down here, but then, you know, you're gonna put the controller somewhere. It's just a lot of work that I don't plan on doing. This is actually a bike that I'm just gonna get rid of, because I wanna get room for the X2 when that comes in, which is the upgraded model from this, which isn't shipping out yet, but I think it's sometime in June. And I'm very, very excited for that one. I just hope it doesn't disappoint at all. About 6.5 to 7 miles, let's just say somewhere around there. I haven't went down a battery bar yet, so it's not too bad. Another thing I keep forgetting to remember is that the throttle is very delayed. Definitely very delayed. It's like a second delay almost, and I'm not used to it. But I feel like I got a flat, but I don't know. What's up, man? Nothing. Alright, let's make sure I didn't get a flat. The seat feels so comfortable, and I feel like it's breaking in over time, so it just felt like I was little by little just going down. Hey, Virgil. Alright, trying to turn the bike off with gloves is actually kind of hard because all the buttons are very close together. But we got it. All right, well, I'm at work, and I was actually hoping my buddy had his bike here. So after doing these video reviews and promoting the Ride One Up Rev 1 e-bike, one of my coworkers bought one, and he normally puts his locked up to this pole. I put mine locked up to here, and I was hoping he had it today. He had it yesterday and the day before, but I didn't ride my bikes on the weekend. So that's unfortunately. I wanted to show you guys that I got someone to buy it. But anyways, I'll see you guys in about 5 seconds when it's nighttime, and then we'll put our little light on the back. I'll show you guys how it looks. We'll see how the headlight looks, and continue this trip and see what our total range will be on the display up here when we get back to the house. I'll see you guys in a sec. Let's hope I don't get ran over. This bike isn't very fast. It's like 24 miles an hour. All right. Nighttime, baby, nighttime. Let's go. Did I get the kickstand? Yep, we got the kickstand. We're good. Now we might have to adjust this headlight a little bit. I think it's crooked. If I'm not mistaken, it looks a little crooked, but not too bad. The display is very nice and bright, surprisingly, so it might be washed out with my GoPro right now, and I'm gonna go before the truck. Let's see a race, let's see a race. BMW for the win, BMW for the win. Nice, nice. My friends. All right, what an exciting way to start the night riding footage. So, so far, you know, I told you that we did not go down a battery bar when I got to work. Well, somehow with the bike sitting, I don't ever turn my batteries off, so I don't flick the switch off when I let it sit. If I'm gonna like charge my bike and then I'm gonna ride it later and I don't want the charger to be on, I will turn it off. But most of the time I just leave my batteries on 24/7 because I don't mind if it drains a little bit of battery over time, especially if I'm not gonna ride it for a while. So I left it on the whole entire time I was at work for about like 9 hours. And as soon as I got on it, we're down 1 battery bar. So that happened right off the bat. And just an update again, we're down another battery bar. So now it says 2 battery bars remaining. What someone was saying is we're probably gonna be pedaling this bike back home. I don't think we will, but man, that sucks that the whole like 6.5 mile trip, almost 7, we were good. And now we're just down 2 battery bars. Now I know it's gonna go up, which it already did because we're coming downhill. Oh, I accidentally hit the button. My bad. Woo! Man, coming up to curbs like that, going pretty fast, I kind of like puckered up a little bit, you know what I mean? Kind of like in a lowered car that has bad suspension and very negative camber, and you're about to hit a pothole that you just see in the road, like you kind of like pucker up real quick. I had to do that, and I will say that it's okay. It's not the most comfortable. We talked about it in my review video. The seat is awesome. The seat definitely takes up a lot of vibration and bumps and all that kind of stuff. But what sucks is you really can't hit big stuff like that because it was a little jarring when I hit it that fast. But if I would have taken it a little bit slower like a normal person instead of like speed racing like through, you know, like intersections and going from the street to the curb, I think it would have been okay. We're in a pitch black area, no lights at all, and I'll show you by turning this off. I can't see anything. This is a fantastic headlight. I think mine's a little crooked off to the side, not that bad, but fantastic. Now I can move it down a little bit if I want to. I like having a little bit out there, but I can definitely see a lot. I'm really impressed with this headlight. But keep in mind, so see, look, when we turn, you don't see the corners. So as I turn, I can't see the side. That's just because it's a projector style headlight. So just got to keep that in mind. Not too bad, but you lose a little bit of visibility there. Oh, I can't talk today. It's been one of those days. I had like 3 Red Bulls, which was probably not good. I actually had too much that I started trying to drink some water at the end of my shift because like I feel like I'm gonna have a massive headache tomorrow, man. I'm just already feeling it already. And I gotta edit some other videos for you guys that come out before this one. So I gotta stay up pretty late tonight, and it's already 12:30 at night. It's pretty, actually in the morning, I should say. It's very early. A lot of people don't like us doing this. I always see the comments, but I'll be real, man. I am not gonna pull over on the sidewalk and hit the thing for it to turn green, lose all my momentum on this slow bike just to go through that intersection and get up this hill when it's perfectly fine as long as you look both ways. Yeah, I understand people are like, oh, everyone breaks the law that has an e-bike, and I get what you're saying, but there are some stupid people out there that kind of abuse it, but at the same time, that's kind of how we just keep moving, you know, and we're safer. I sit somewhere, you don't know what can happen. Like someone could pop out of nowhere and jack me from my bike, or a car could see me in the road just sitting there waiting for the light to turn, you know, green, and they hit me. That's why a lot of motorcycles lane split and all that kind of stuff, to get away from the traffic. I don't know, to each their own though. I guess you guys understand if you guys had an e-bike or a bike in general. Most bikes, if they're not e-bikes, I kind of understand why most people will probably stop at a light, because I don't know, it's not really, you're not going that fast on a regular bike. Where on these, you know, you're going like 28 miles an hour roughly, and this one technically 25. It's not that fast, but you have so much more speed going for you too on an electric bike as well. So a normal bike, I don't know how fast you could be able to pedal it, but you're not going to be going as fast as we will. And I will say, coming down this, I saw 28. Not too bad. Let's take this pretty good. I'm not gonna let off the throttle. So check that out. I didn't let off the throttle at all. We went down to 20 miles an hour. Let me take this turn again, real sharp. All right, so that turn, we went down to 22 miles per hour. So like I said, taking turns on this bike, the resistance of the tires. Did you not even stop, bro? People are stupid. That's why you get hit. Dude, check this out. This is like a stop sign right there. There's a light, it's red. Can you not see the blinking red thing? That's how like people get killed. You got to think about, like, this bike is like 60 something pounds compared to that truck that's probably like 4,500 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I run a red light for whatever reason, and I don't pay attention about going across the street or anything like that. Someone that hits me, yeah, like it's gonna damage their car, don't get me wrong, but I'm the one that's gonna like get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get smashed. Whoa, 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 what is all this? Woo, woo. Man, someone's cutting some trees or something over here. What's going on? At least I had this nice headlight to show me the path on where to go. Now I'm probably about 3 miles into this trip going home, and I'm starting to feel my hand cramp up ever so slightly again. It's not the end of the world thing, you know, like I said earlier, but if you are older and have issues like with your hands, you might want to think about looking at a different bike, or think about switching this to like a thumb throttle. A thumb throttle is very, very comfortable. I love thumb throttles. I just feel like they're so much easier to be able to grip onto the bars and just use your thumb, and it feels more comfortable to me. But a lot of you guys love full throttle, so, you know, to each their own, whatever works for you. I will say this is going to be the last video I do make on this bike. So if you guys are thinking about picking it up, again, my code is MrCentralDriver, and to give you a discount off of the X1 or the X2, whichever one you're thinking about getting. X2, full suspension. X1, no suspension, lower top speed. And hopefully, they emailed me a couple days ago, June, I believe, mid-June, somewhere around there. We're going to be getting the X2 when it comes in. That's if it arrives, you know, at the port and everything like that. You know, sometimes there's huge delays. Some other stuff that you guys might want to know about. It's not going to be about this bike, but it's about the channel. The Rumble Motors Apex e-bike, the dual motor, dual battery setup. I ordered the Spider Tribute. I did contact them the other day, and they said that the following week, which is technically going to be the week that this video goes out, that they were getting another shipment in, and that they would start shipping them as soon as possible. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're going to be shipping them in about 2 weeks from now. I don't know what's going on. If I do get it, go follow me on Instagram at MrCentralDriver. That's where I post up all the latest stuff. So the Rev 1 e-bike that I modified and did some top speed runs, I post like exclusive videos on there first on my story. So you just have to check out my story and see what's going on before the videos even go out. It's basically like a free Patreon in a way, which I did think about making a Patreon one of these days. It's an extra way of, you know, making money and like giving you guys videos and exclusive stuff like ahead of time. And if I did have a Patreon, I do think it'd be pretty cool, because then it would put it in a category of the people that pay for my Patreon. Maybe those people can be entered in like the giveaways and stuff like that, you know? So I already have like the information, the emails and whatnot. I think that would be pretty cool. But then Patreon is another thing I have to keep up with. Like, I'm trying to keep up with Facebook, trying to keep up with Instagram. I try to post my videos on Reddit as well. And then having a Patreon on top of it, like, that's something I would have to do. There's just so much stuff that goes into all this, especially with a full-time job right now. I do love your guys' comments that say, how the hell do you have time to get to all this stuff. And trust me, it does take up like 90% of my life. I'm not joking with you guys. Oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Let's make this green light if we can. The bike's a little slow, but hey, it looks like we're making it. All right. Full throttle. I did not let off. Nice and smooth. Lost a little bit of top speed, but it's okay. So since we're basically at the end of the video, unless something crazy happens before I get home, I know it's going to be very long because the bikes that are slower take longer to record, and I talk a lot more on them compared to a bike that is 50 miles an hour. I get home so much faster. Oh dang, I didn't even turn on this rear light. Oh my God, hold on. Oh, I just turned on the rear light. Oh man, I'm an idiot. Oh, hold on real quick. Let me make sure this is on, because I put this on here and I have not been riding with the whole entire time. Man, I really could have seriously got ran over. Man, be careful, guys. Seriously, even, you know, professionals make mistakes. Okay, so I put it on now. I don't want it like flashing like that crazy. There we go. So there we go. That's my light right there, and then that's the reflector underneath. There's a little sideways. I know I'm already home. I should have showed you guys that before I even got on the bike, but I was trying to rush out of work, and I got today off, and I'm going out later tonight. I got a lot of cleaning to do, and I got editing to do, so I just really want to get today over with. But oh my God, that's scary. But what was I saying? I was basically wanted to say that if you guys are serious to think about getting this bike, it's great. I just want to get this bike if it's something that you want to go fast with. 25 miles an hour is cool with most people. We talked about it earlier, talked about my review video. Just think about 25 miles an hour is the max that you can go, and you're always going to go slower than that as your battery goes down, which we're at 2 battery bars right now doing 23 miles an hour. Once we go down a little bit more, I wouldn't be surprised if this bike does maybe like 20 miles an hour or closer to 18 when you're almost at the very end of the voltage life of your battery. This also doesn't have voltage, something I just want to point out as well. There's no voltage reading on here, so you're going off battery bars. So I don't know what we're at right now. I wish I knew, but we don't. But it's a fantastic bike for someone that just wants to kind of cruise back and forth to work and the grocery store or whatever, because no one really needs to spend $4,000, $3,000 on an e-bike. It's just cool because having the extra power, the extra build quality, the extra like performance, and the, you know, the batteries that they use, extra range. Having the extra range to me is actually one of the biggest thing about electric bikes, because range anxiety is a huge thing, even on like electric cars. That's kind of one reason why I've been going to I might get a Tesla, because they have like the longest range vehicles, even though they don't really live up to their claimed range that they're supposed to get. They actually do have the most. I saw a test a couple weeks ago of some cars that they did. All right, I'm gonna go through this. And so yeah, I don't know, that's why I'm thinking about getting that car. But yeah, range anxiety is a huge thing. So if you guys do have range anxiety, again, since the end of the video, you guys can get this in a dual battery setup. It's $400. You can also get a bag that sits right here. If you want to, this car might light it up so you can see. Maybe not. Okay, that didn't work very well. But there's 2 bolts right here. You can put a bag. It's $100. I highly recommend the fender upgrade for this bike if you're going to get this one, because if you're going to ride in the rain or light dirt or mud or anything like that, then you definitely want to have something to protect you. You don't want stripes up and down your shirt, especially if you're going to use it to go to the store and everyone's like, what the heck, this guy like poop himself or something, you know what I'm saying? So I would highly recommend that. But overall, I love the bike. It's cool, and there's some dogs that are loose. All right. But anyways, I'm going to end on that note. I love you guys. This is the last video. This is the last video on this e-bike. I said I can't talk. It's been a long day. Love all you guys. You guys are the true MVPs of the channel. And stick around for more content. I got tons of e-bikes sitting in my garage that need to be reviewed in the next couple of weeks. So we got a busy schedule ahead of us. Oh, and we didn't have to pedal this bike home at all. I ended up with 3 battery bars after I got here. It was on 2 the whole time, but I think it goes off voltage sag. So we put 19.9 miles on the bike overall, but this trip was roughly around like 12 miles, so not too bad. Oh, and if you guys want a video to watch, click right up here in the top corner and watch the Rev 1 final build on how fast that bike goes after we put a 72 volt system on it. It's insane. You're gonna love it. All right.